thank you very much for joining. We have 127 on the call. We know there's more joining as we speak. So I've got my colleague here, Sıla, who was actually a person who student who took part in last year's translation challenge with Ege University. Sıla, that's a good opportunity just to tell us your experience.
Yeah, sure. Well, last year we had joined the competition with two friends of mine. We were a group of three. It was wonderful, actually. I had no idea about how to run a project, what phases there were in a translation project. So it gave me such a great idea about it. And being here right now and helping you organize this year, staying in this chair is a very interesting experience for me as well. It was so much fun last year, and it is also another fun on the other side of things. So I'm very proud to be here right now. Yeah.
Excellent, and it's a testament of the competition, that how it prepares for everyone. And I don't think it's a surprise that now you're working with us and not just working in a company, but helping to organize the whole event. So thank you for this. Well, you've got everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. And so Sıla, shall we get started?
Sure, of course. I see Zeynep is here as well. So we can, I think, start. So today we will have so many participants as well as so many presenters too. We will, first of all, Levent will start with an opening speech, and then we will hear some from Zeynep Trudy, who was a sponsor this year. And then we will have Jeffrey Bowden, who's the General Secretary at EU ATC. So he will be joining us today, and then we will be announcing the winning teams. So without further ado, I think we can start with you, Levent.
Thank you, Sıla. Well, welcome everyone, and I'm really pleased and excited to welcome you all to another awards ceremony. This is the 8th year, and it's giving me such a pleasure to be able to say that after 8 years. And so this was also an interesting year. We had the pandemic, but it didn't stop us. It didn't stop us making further progress. Now there are actually 3 universities taking part, turning this into a truly international event. After all, our industry is global. Our languages are global. There's no isolated cases. So it's a global industry, and the competition is now a testament of that. So that's a good thing. I'm really pleased to say. I've got a couple of thank yous for, especially, everyone taking part, but most importantly, the lecturers of these universities who are putting extra time and effort to make this happen. So I'd like to mention their names. If you bear with me 1 second, please. Hope I won't forget anyone. You'll see my screen temporarily. Am I a bit disorganized today, or is it me? Okay, almost there. Sorry about that. Right. Okay. Right. Now, that's the University of Essex, lecturers at the University of Essex, and this is really a lot of efforts on everybody's part. And when I interviewed the students who took part in the previous years, they couldn't say enough. They couldn't say enough words to express their gratitude for the support and they received. And hopefully I'll be interviewing more students from the Turkish universities as well. And I have I'm pretty sure that I'll receive the same sentiments from those students. This is the 9 Eylül University, and these are the lecturers that help the students with the grading as well as the support. And also at the two of the Turkish universities, the student associations played a part as well. And this is the Ege University, where Sıla took part last year. And again, the head of student association they also played a part. Now, just to mention about the prizes. Now, this is for all participants and it's free to everyone, and we'll send a link. There will be a 2-hour online workshop on how to establish a translator. Also for the winning teams, we will make my course available free of charge to all the winners. This is a course that's about 1.5 hours, about 9 mistakes to prevent for it's freelance translators, but it applies to any translators or anyone is for taking a job. So that's pretty much my presentation. But now what we did, if you bear with me 1 second, please. Right, yeah. What we did, at the end of today, translation is paying attention to details and understanding the source text, understanding the client, understanding everything to do with what we need to do. So we prepared 3 questions for you, for the participants. And Sıla, can we do this, please? Can we do the first question?
We have 3 small questions, and it's just to see how much you paid attention when you are translating the
no pressure.
text. It's just no pressure at all. They are just some fun questions about the text, about Trudy, Turkish Delight. So I'm sending the first question. So maybe you can all answer in like 10, 15 seconds. It's very simple.
The question is actually, in which city Trudy Turkish Delights are manufactured?
Yes.
Okay. Can we see the results?
Yes, I'm ending it now and sharing the results with you. So yes, the answer was Istanbul.
What is the correct answer, Zeynep? Can you tell us the correct answer?
The correct answer is Istanbul, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes,
okay.
81% got it right. It's nice. It's a nice amount. So I will go to the number 2. So this is Trudy is in operation since when? Which year? I'm not sure if this one was in the source text, but
it was in the website.
This is the first thing that the first thing that comes up when you click the website. So yeah, I thought it was fair. Okay, so I'm ending it now, and yes, it's 43% 2003, and if I'm not wrong, it's the correct answer. Is that right, Zeynep? 2003?
Yes, correct.
Yes. That's great. And my favorite question, last but not least, which one of the following is not a real roasted chickpea flavor produced by Trudy?
It's a tricky one.
Yeah, a little bit. Because they all seem very probable. I mean, okay. So yeah, the answer was milk chocolate and nut. It's not a real chickpea flavor produced by Trudy.
Is that correct, Zeynep?
You know, I'm quite surprised. I had to read the question twice to see which one we don't do. So that's great, amazing.
Well, I believe there is dark chocolate and coconut, but I don't think there's a milk chocolate flavor. So yeah. So I'm glad to see that all 3 of the questions got the best answers out of them. Yeah.
It's just a little fun quiz, just to show how easy to get things wrong, you know, and how important it is to pay attention to the details. But just a little experiment, really. And yeah, so that's me. I can see Jeffrey, the General Secretary of European Associations of Translation Companies. You know, he's representing 24 countries, pretty much like our audience here. So without further ado, I'll hand you over to Sıla.
Thank you, Levent. Yes, first of all, thank you to Jeffrey for accepting our invitation and sparing the time to be here. It's very kind of you. I know that how busy you might be, but it's really important for us that you are here, and we are very glad to have you here. So without further ado, I would like to leave it to you.
Okay,
Jeffrey.
thank you so much, Levent, for inviting me and giving me the space to talk to everyone. And I'm thrilled that there are so many of you joining in today. As was mentioned, I represent the European Union of Associations of Translation Companies. This is an umbrella group which includes UK and Turkey. And it's an umbrella group of national associations for translation companies. Overall, TTC, We Translate, is a network member by being member of one of the founding associations, the HEC in UK. But we have under our umbrella over 700 language service providers, potential employers for you as you finish your studies and go out into the wide world of work. I'd like to say a couple of things about the Translation Challenge, which I think is a brilliant, brilliant initiative, because so often people come out of the academic sausage machine and really they are woefully ill-prepared for the world of work. And this challenge really does set you up brilliantly to win work, whether you work as a freelancer or you want to present yourself to go as part of an in-house team. It really is a brilliant initiative, and I congratulate all of you for taking time to take part, because it is great preparation for the real world out there. I've just come off a call where I'm looking at an event which was going to happen in Austria, and it kind of circulates between Austria, Hungary, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. And there we have set up traditionally a jobs fair, which is not just for experienced freelancers, but also for postgraduate students coming out of universities, where they can present themselves to companies who are there operating across Central Europe. This year we're going to be virtual, so wherever you happen to be, there'll be an opportunity for you to present your credentials to maybe 50 companies in one place over 2 days, and it'll have the support of the European Commission. So there's stuff that you need to prepare, part of which I guess has been covered by the Translation Challenge, but others maybe not, but it's how you end up marketing yourself when you are going out in the world of work. And it's very difficult. If you don't have experience, how do you convince people to trust you in the workplace? So it's a chicken and egg situation you're all going into, which I can, appreciate could be fairly scary and fairly challenging. But I think the courses you've been doing at Essex and in Turkey are brilliant, and they are very comprehensive. This kind of external support from companies like Levent's really will help you prepare and give you confidence to go out there and earn a living in a very competitive world. So I wish you all well for the future. I know you will be brilliant successes, all of you. And your career paths are on the threshold of something very exciting in a world that is rapidly changing. The technology that's coming in that's going to help you do your jobs even better and more accurately are just mind-blowing. You know, when I started out in this industry, translators were sitting at their kitchen tables with well-thumbed dictionaries, paper dictionaries. You remember those? Now you have so many different technical supports. You need to get across all those technical aids. I hope you've been exposed to them during your course. If you haven't, shout loudly and ask them why, but I'm sure you have, because those are the tools that future employers will want you to be familiar with, and you need to be across those sort of that technology. Being a linguist is one thing, but you also need to be familiar with the technology to make yourself a really efficient player and a productive player as well, and one who is always going to deliver a quality end product. So I'll finish there because I've been told I've only got 4 minutes and I've probably overtaken my my slot. But thank you so much for letting me butt into your event. I'm just enthralled to see so many fresh young faces there, including you, Levent. You know, you seem to lose about 20 years when you're surrounded by wonderful young people. Anyway, thank you so much, and I wish you well for the rest of the day and in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you for taking part.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. It was such an insightful perspective you brought to this meeting. I would like to thank you personally for being here and making the time. Now I would like to, if it's okay.
Just send a Turkish delight to me.
I don't see why not.
No, I ask for no reward. This is reward enough, being able to talk to
that's
some great people coming into the industry. Thank you.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, if it's okay, I would like to hear a few words from Zeynep Trudy, our sponsor this year. So Zeynep, would you do the honors?
Hi, everyone. It's actually been an amazing experience to be part of this project. I know that I work with a lot of university students, and I get so much, and I learn so much from the younger generation, and I actually get a buzz out of it. Language, being bilingual, and my mum speaks 5 languages, my dad speaks 4. Unfortunately, I only speak 2. My mother always said, learn more languages. French was my 3rd language, but I can't really say, I speak it. My mum always said, always learn a language because you become a new person. So the value of, from the young age, we knew the value of learning another language. And obviously in my business, I realized that it's definitely much more than I thought it was when I was young, because I couldn't just get my head around why my mother wanted me to learn so many more languages. I realized that in my exporting industry with my products, I realized I needed so much help with my translation on my packaging products. And if I wanted to expand to those countries, I needed more than just English. I needed to understand how they put things on packaging, on words, and what they call our products in those countries. And it's just been an learning and an education being part of this project with you, Levent, Sıla, and everybody else involved. I just take my hat off to everyone. And in my future projects that I'm involved with, I'd like to be involved again if you take me on. And yes, Jeffrey, just send me an address to Sıla and you can have my Turkish delights with pleasure.
And it's good, Jeffrey, it is very good. I can personally vouch for this, having tested Zeynep's products.
Oh dear.
So yeah, thank you for having me, and I'll be quiet and listen in now, so thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zeynep.
Thank you so much, Zeynep. Now, before we move into the awards part, I would like to give one last person that stands, Heather Doyle, who's the work-based learning manager in University of Essex, and she would like to talk about all the opportunities this translation challenge can bring and how to use it in our CVs, and maybe some other little clues to improve our CVs. Am I right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. And could you possibly allow me to screen share, Silla? Is that okay?
Yes, please, please.
Yeah, you can share. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me have a go. So just, let's just see if that's working. Is that doing anything, or is it not?
There's
No,
there's a
not
button
right
at
now.
the middle bottom of the screen on the middle.
Yes, on the screen at the bottom.
Yeah,
there's a
I know.
share
I'm
screen.
just it's not coming up with my desktop for some reason.
Sıla, do you need to enable screen share because you're the host?
I think it should be enabled, but
Yeah,
If you
it's
click
enabled
on-
at the moment.
All right.
it is enabled, but unfortunately, when I'm clicking on the options, it's not bringing anything up, which is a bit of a problem.
Try shouting at it. I always find that works.
Maybe. I'll try one last time. Let's have a go. I'm sorry about this, folks. Just please bear with me.
No problem.
No problem. Did we enable screen share by everyone?
Yes, it is right now enabled. I checked it once more.
Okay.
The the
Okay.
settings are correct right now.
No, that's
All
not
participants.
working, and I think it's possibly my computer. What I might do is just have to wing it. Unfortunately, I had some lovely visuals to look at. Which
Heather, you can send the presentation to one of us, and
Yeah.
then we
Yeah.
can try.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, you can.
let's
You
try
can
that.
do that.
then. Let's try that because I'm sure it's probably
Yeah,
more
if you
interesting.
email it to us or Ignacia, and then we can we can do it
let's
that
try
way.
that.
Yeah.
I'll send
I
it.
mean, while Heather is doing that, guys, what I'd like to say is that the employment opportunities are in a strange place at the moment. In one side, there are lots of jobs going. On the other side, there's a lot of unemployment going. And when we look at the details, the people who are adapting to changing circumstances seems to be getting jobs. So I think it's all a matter of looking at what is going on in the world and what is required of us, and adapting to that. And there are lots of businesses flourishing, but also there are lots of businesses going under because of the COVID-19. Okay, the circumstances are changing, but even in catering, the companies who sell face-to-face now, they are going online. If they can manage to do this conversion modification, they are still in business. If they sit down and just wait for things to change, they seem to be having difficult times. So for students such as yourselves who are studying in good universities, I think the opportunity is to see what is going on in the world and adapt and see so that you can grab the opportunities, because the world is going on despite the COVID-19. So they still need us, they still need communication, they still need translations. It's all a matter of fitting into this changing of circumstances. So Heather, tell us whenever you're ready, and then
Yeah, well, I've sent it through. I think in the meantime, I'll just sort of start and wing it, and then hopefully.
Yes, I received your presentation, Heather.
Okay.
Let me share my screen.
Very sorry for the delays.
No worries at all.
Okay, can you guys see it?
Lovely. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so
Great.
I know sort of watching PowerPoints on Zoom presentation is not particularly engaging, so this is only a very short PowerPoint, and I'll try not to make it kind of death by slides for everybody. But just to introduce myself again, my role at the University of Essex is to support students with getting work experience and getting graduate jobs. So I just wanted to talk to the students a little bit about how you can take this experience and kind of use it to really sell yourself if you're applying for jobs, and if you're just trying to get yourself out there and get yourself known. Because as everybody said, it's a fantastic experience and we want you to articulate it well. So I think, yes, I can click forward to the next slide, lovely. Okay, so in my experience, what we tend to see is a lot of students undersell their work experience to potential employers, and they just sort of write it quickly in a CV and they don't really kind of explore everything that they've done and show employers why they are such good prospects. So the one thing I just wanted to flag to everyone is if you're going to present this experience on a CV or in a job application or something like that, there's a few things you can do to really elevate the standard of your application. Okay, so to present your experience well, you need to be very, very specific. Okay, remember the who, where, why, what, how of what you've done. Don't just say that you've taken part in a challenge at university. You know, mention TTC Retranslate, mention Truda, mention the number of participants, mention the size of the document, how long you had to translate it, what your role was, and really bring that experience to life so that they understand exactly the parameters of the experience, so they can see that actually it's a big deal. It's not just a tiny little assignment that you worked on for a few days in a lecture. This is actually a big deal. The second thing I would say is, I think whenever you're writing any experience in a CV, it's always really good to quantify it. So you add some numbers and some statistics so that the recruiters understand exactly the magnitude of what you've done. You know, if you've had to work in a group to turn that around 1,000 words in the space of a fortnight, that's not a small task. If you've won a competition against 200 other applicants or competitors, that's not a small thing. So by giving those numbers, you kind of build a bit of a context around it and help those recruiters understand it a little bit more. The next one is, it sounds quite obvious, but the amount of times students that I work with forget to do it, is actually say what you actually did. Don't just say you were in a translation challenge and you translated a document. What did that specifically involve? So, you know, were you taking like a lexicographer, I can never say that word, lexicographer's role, where you were looking at all the very technical specialist bits of language that you needed to translate very, very accurately? Were you the project manager? You know, did you oversee things? Did you allocate tasks? Did you keep things to deadline? Actually break down all the different tasks you did within that project, because that's how employers can see what skills that you actually have. And the last thing is, think about the language you use. Now, you are all translators, so you should be very well aware of the different parts of language and how they all come together to create sort of the tone or the mood of a piece of writing. So use what we call active verbs that make you sound a bit more proactive. So if I click forward, these are active verbs. Active verbs make you look like somebody who can get things done, basically. So instead of just saying, I worked on a piece of work, you use words like, I organized, I collaborated, I created, I prioritized. And it makes you sound like someone who gets things done. It makes you sound a really go-getting person who delivers results, as opposed to just saying, I wrote a document, which is a bit flat and doesn't have the same level of impact. So it's all of, you know, your teachers have been telling you all year, it's all about the choice of language. And when it comes to selling yourself in a CV, it absolutely is all about the choice of language. Moving on. There we go. Okay, so I wrote some examples. It's sort of slightly cut off at the bottom there. I don't know if we can just slide the screen up a little bit. I don't think I've actually, I think it's Scylla that's controlling it.
I think I'm changing the slides.
Okay, so I wrote two examples. One is the sort of thing, the first one is the sort of thing I see all the time on CVs. And the second one is how, you know, what a good application should read. So the first one is, sometimes on a CV, I'll just see something that can be quite a big deal, just summed up in 2 lines on a CV. And the employer reading that CV has no concept of what a big deal it is. So just, I took part in my university's translation challenge. I worked in a team of 4. I helped translate a marketing document. Our team were the Spanish group winners. Well, that's nice, but it doesn't really say what great skills you've developed. So now the second version is using more of those active verbs, remembering the who, what, where, why, quantifying it to explain it in much more detail. So this one says, I participated in an international translation event. It sounds so much better if you stick the word international in there. You know, it makes it seem such a much bigger thing already. I don't know if there were 200 competitors. I just plucked a number out of the air. Organised by translation agency TTC We Translate. So you've put in that it's actually an external thing with a corporate partner, which immediately makes it seem a much bigger deal. I successfully collaborated with team members to translate a 500-word marketing document. I'm sorry, Trude, Zainab, I haven't actually seen the document, so I've no idea if that's true or not. I just quickly stuck that in there.
1,000 words, yeah.
From English to Spanish on behalf of the confectionery company Trude. My role was to act as native speaking Spanish expert for the group and also act as, I can't say that word again, lexicographer, managing accurate translation of specific technical terminology. I organised daily team briefings for team members to share progress and set targets. I also identified and developed solutions for problems that occurred during translation. I utilised higher order communication skills to persuade colleagues my solution was effective. As a result, our team members met deadlines. We produced high quality translation to the client, which can be seen on the company website. Now, if you do any piece of work that can be seen out in the internet, stick a hyperlink in. Or if you have a blog where you're showcasing your work, stick a hyperlink in so that whoever is reading your application can click and immediately it comes up. That looks so much more impressive. So by using these active verbs, by quantifying things, by including the details of who, where, what, why, you write something that suddenly seems like a much bigger deal. It seems like, you know, it's linked to employers, it's an international event, you took an active role in it, and it seems much more impressive to a future employer. Okay, can we just go to the next slide, please, Sila?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, so very quickly, if you just move it up a little bit, thank you. Now, as Levent has already said, it's quite challenging times to be a graduate at the moment with the current pandemic and the impact on economy and recruitment, okay? But there are 3 simple things you can do over the next few months that will help you gain more experience and help you improve your visibility to employers. So before I finish, I just wanted to highlight these 3 things that you could do. Okay, so if we go to the next slide. Okay, so number 1, you can do some volunteering. If you are not able to secure paid work straight away, okay, while you are looking, take on some small little volunteering translation tasks. Number 2, you could build your network. And number 3, you can blog and create your own sort of social media channels. So very quickly then, sorry, if you go back again, sorry.
Sorry.
That's okay, don't worry. Okay, so volunteering. Now, the good thing about volunteering as a translator is it doesn't necessarily have to be a long-term commitment, and you can just sort of do little bits of piecework here and there when you have time in order to keep your skill set current and make sure that those skills don't go rusty, but also to have pieces of work that you can then cite on your CV to say, actually, I've done all of this work for these organisations. And of course, it looks really positive to recruiters if you do a little bit of volunteering here or there, because it shows that you're actually a very socially responsible person. Nobody looks bad by having a bit of volunteering work. So there's organisations that would be really, really value your skill set as translators. You know, so things like overseas development charities, any charity that's working in a developing world country with a project, they may have information that they need translating and they may struggle to be able to fund translators because they're working on a very small budget. Lots of organisations like refugees and migrant networks really value having people who can help with translation. And we have this organisation, Translators Without Borders, who they offer little bits of training. They give you feedback on the work that you've done. They have lots of IT resources that you can access. And the good thing is you can do as little or as much as you want. If you just wanted to do a 400-word document because you had a bit of a lull and you just wanted to keep your experience up to date while you're still looking for jobs, you can do something, a small scale piece of work that will look great on your CV, okay? Next slide, please, Scylla. Okay, the next thing I would say is build your network. Now, this is where organized platforms like LinkedIn are absolutely invaluable. It's now the way that a lot of people communicate in business, and particularly if you're going to be a freelancer. If people don't know about you, then you're not going to get any work. And LinkedIn is a wonderful way of getting yourself out there. So you can set up your LinkedIn profile, let people know you're looking for work. You can join industry forums. There are whole groups and forums dedicated to translation, interpreting, subtitling, where you can talk to people who work in the sector and really gain insight from them. You can find out about vacancies because a lot of companies will advertise their vacancies to LinkedIn. And you can follow influential people and interesting companies and find out a little bit about what they're doing. You know, Levent is an absolute demon on LinkedIn. He's on there all the time. I follow him all the time and he's always popping up in my feed. So he's a very good person to follow. But if you are engaging with LinkedIn and you have a professional profile, it will raise your visibility with employers. It will help connect you with the right people, and it will highlight some interesting companies that you might want to go off and do some research about in case they have any jobs. It's a really useful tool, a really useful tool. Okay, last one, I think. And finally, and one final thing you could do if you wanted to raise your visibility is create your own social media content to raise your profile. So you could do things like blogging. And within your blog, you could discuss issues within the translation sector, or, you know, do a bit of a day in the life of a translator and talk about what it's like in your industry. And assuming that clients are happy, you could even showcase samples of your translation work. And, you know, if blogs grow and you get enough followers, then you can get advertising, you can even generate revenue from it. But if you're trying to establish yourself in this industry, you need visibility. And this is another way of going about it when you're a beginner. Okay. I think I have one final closing slide, Scylla, if you could just go to that one for me.
Yeah.
So it's a very quick sort of brain dump, really. I apologize for throwing a lot of information at you very quickly, but I just wanted to say, even though it might seem a bit scary out there at the moment because we are in unprecedented times, I think the main thing is to start making small regular steps. If you put it off, it's a bit like that essay that you had to write. If you just sit there staring at a blank piece of paper, it looks absolutely terrifying. You can't bring yourself to start. If you just start with a few small things, then gradually things start to snowball and you start to get momentum and you start to make progress. So just do something rather than sitting there panicking, because small actions turn into big actions, which turn into progress. And you can do this, okay? And just best of luck to you all.
Thank you, Heather. Very, very useful, very, very wise words. Yeah.
Thank you, Heather. I personally have never noticed the importance of building a decent CV until my last year. So it's a task on its own. Thank you for all this information. Now, without keeping our participants waiting any longer, I would like to give it to Ignazia Posedino from University of Essex to announce the winning teams from Essex University.
Okay, but not just as that, you know, I want to say thank you to Levent for leading us in this adventure once again. Thank you to Heather Doyle for all the good advice and support. Thank you for our delicious sponsor, you know, really with her delicious products. We really, really enjoyed, you know, translating your text. I think our students enjoyed. And thank you to Geoffrey Bowden to, you know, make the time to talk to us. as usual, you know, the teams have worked really hard, and it has been very, very difficult to elect, you know, a winning team, but we had to do so. In some cases, the difference is really, you know, one mistake, but we said attention to detail in our, you know, sector is crucial. So we had to elect winners. So I'm going to now announce the winners, but I would like my colleagues, you know, to announce their own students. We want to start with Arabic, if Arabic is, Zach is around. Is Zach around? Otherwise, I will announce the Arabic winners. No? Okay. Forgive me for my pronunciation of your names, but the winners for the Arabic English team are Bushra Absi, Mahmoud Uzruf, Omar Alarbi, Saed Belal, and Samia Johar. Okay, so these are the winners of the Arabic English team. You will receive a certificate showing, you know, all the, you know, the 3 universities that took part in this challenge, and of course TTC with Translate. So we will send you the certificates sometime today or tomorrow. Is Lex around? Because I know she had an important appointment.
I'm here, thank you.
So you will announce your winners.
I will, thank you very much. I echo Ignacia's words. Thank you very much to Levant, to Zeynep, and to everyone who has collaborated in making this possible. The Spanish group had 5 teams, and it was very, very difficult for me to choose the winner. But as Ignacia said, we must choose a winner, and there was a team that had an edge over the others. And the winners are Gemma Angulo, Anna Soto, Doreen Chengula, Luca Lombardi, and Miroslava Pluharova. Congratulations to everyone, and also to the other teams. You all did a fantastic job.
Okay, and then we have the Chinese team. So I let Antonia to announce the winners.
Hello, everyone. So this year, we had 5 teams translating from English into Chinese. And this year I had a little bit of help from my colleague Emma. So this is how we did it. We examined carefully all of the submissions separately, and we had a final discussion. And without knowing each other's selection, we both had our eyes on the same piece. So this translation has been carried out with scrupulous attention to detail and lots of research into the actual products. Just by looking at the translation, they actually turned the website upside down. They know the products inside out. They described everything so precisely. You know, when I went to check the translation, I looked at the actual products. I'm so amazed how they described it. So really, I'm so proudly here to announce that my winning team is made up with the following team members: Yang Yuxing, Yuan Shirong, Sheng Yixing, and Wang Yuxuan. Congratulations.
Yay. Excellent. Then we have the German team, if Claudia is around. Claudia, do you hear? Oh no, Claudia.
She's teaching, I think.
She's teaching, right. So I will announce Claudia's winners. It's the team number 2, and it's Charlotte Hein, Anastasia Chervona, Claire Davidson, and Sarah Swong. Congratulations. Wonderful. Now we have the French team, and I'll let Dunia announce your winners.
Yes, thank you. So we had 3 teams for French, and all of them produced quality work that they really can be proud of. So like my colleagues, it was not easy to select the best one, but with my colleague Laetitia, we agreed that the winning piece was the most natural in tone the most likely to impress potential customers in the French-speaking market. So well done to everybody, and I'm pleased to announce that the winning teams are James, Natasha, Rebecca, and Irina.
Wow. Excellent. Congratulations. Okay, and now is the return of the Italian team. Again, we had 3 teams, and it was very difficult, you know, to decide between 2 teams especially, but one definitely won because of the way the text reads, you know, natural, appealing, you know, precise, and all the rest. So the winning team is group number 1, and is Carlotta Boelis, Nadine Boesel, Sita Tore, and Maria Francesca Muslin. It's a team that is made of 2 MA students and 2 BA students. Congratulations. Yeah. And now the Portuguese team.
Okay, thank you all. And again, like Inacia, you know, I want to say thank you. Thank you to Levent. Thank you to the client, of course, of all, but also our colleagues in Essex and the students who put, you know, the work and the effort. And I have to say just very quickly, congratulations to the winning team. For their professionalism with deadlines, presentation, teamwork, and above all, for the quality of the translation. And the students are Tiago Vidal, Maria Farmes, Célia Carreira, and Tiago Costa. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, yeah, that's it. We do not have any more teams on our side. So I'll, you know, I'll give the floor to Sila again.
Yes, thank you, Inacia. Congratulations to all the winning teams, and thank you to all the lecturers who took the time and spent all the energy on assessing all these translations. Congratulations, guys. And now I would like to give it to Şeyda Kıncal from the Kocaeli University to announce the winning team. The language pair was Turkish and English, and as much as I remember, the participation was very good this year from both Ege and the Kocaeli. There were a total of 24 teams between these 2 universities, and I believe 10 of them was from the Kocaeli, so I believe it wasn't an easy task. So I will leave it to her.
Yeah, thank you, Sula, and I'm very happy and honored to be part of this, and we as a group, as I mentioned before. So I have a very brief presentation, and now I would like to share it with you. I think you can see the screen. As you know, it is the Doyle University's 4th year of participation in the Translation Challenge, which is a great example of university sector cooperation. And it is such a great honor, as I said, for our students to have a real-life translation experience with a real client. And we really enjoyed working with through this text. I need to say that, and that was what was mentioned by our students too. In total, 10 groups participated in the challenge this year from the Kocaeli Department of Translation and Interpreting, and 40 students from 3rd and 4th grade. To talk very briefly about the evaluation process, me and my colleagues Atalay Gündüz and Alev Aysın, we looked into the transfer information, terminology, style, and form, but style was, I think, the most important item among these. And to be more specific, we gave specific attention to instructions, ingredients, client expectations, because Zeynep Rübi mentioned their emphasis on natural ingredients and towards vegans and vegetarians, so that was important too. So these were really successful, so we had to look at expressions, nuances, creative choices. So there were very little differences, I must say. And special thanks to Levent Bey and Sula, to TTC, to this year's sponsor. Our department, our Translation Society, and all participating students and universities, and also Jeffrey Bowden for joining us in the award ceremony. And finally, now I'd like to announce the winning team. Our winner this year is Team 8. Congratulations, Begüm Kula, İpek Doğu, Gamze Öztürk, and Melis Baloğlu. Yeah. This is all I have to say. Thank you very much. Sula.
Thank you. Thank you, and congratulations to all 4 students and all the other students who participating for making the time, and to you as well for spending all the time to assess all these translations. Well done, everyone. Now I would like to give it to Selin Erkulyacı for announcing the winning teams from Ege University. Again, it was, I believe, not an easy task, as there were 12, maybe 14. I think 14 teams were
14
that
teams.
there were from Ege University.
It was a big and difficult task. Okay, I also have a short presentation. First of all, hello everyone. It has been literally a month since the launch of the challenge, and now we are here to announce the winning team from Ege University. First of all, I want to congratulate all the winners from Essex University and 9 Eylül University. Now, I just want to briefly talk about our selection process. This year, we had 14 teams and who participated. And the source text this year was really interesting and, of course, a little bit more challenging because of or due to its origin. And in order to select the winning team, we in the department we formed another team, and we evaluated all these 14 target texts, and it was not an easy task, as I said earlier, and we had a evaluation criteria with 4 components: meaning, word choice, fluency, and style. Fluency and style, it's a little bit a combination of these essential elements of the target text. Okay, and after a meticulous study, we selected 3 texts. And although nearly all translations were very successful, and these 3 selected texts were all conveyed the meaning and the information and the function of the source text, and they were very well written. And but the main difference among them was at the word choice level and perhaps fluency and style level. And then we sent these 3 teams to TTCV Translate, and I think they had a very difficult time to choose one of them. Before the big announcement, I want to thank you again, this year's sponsors, Zeynep Turudi, and our colleagues from Essex and 9 Eylül University, and to all the participants, and to make this year's experience so special for us. And of course, big thanks to TTCV Translate, to Levent Bey and Sıla. And now it's high time, perhaps, and congratulations to all of our students, but the winners are Aslı Gülenç, Ömer Faruk Telli, Rengun Kurt, and Mustafa Erkaya. Congratulations, very well done. Okay, that's it.
Thank you all so much, and congratulations again to the winning team. As you said, it wasn't an easy task choosing the winner from the finalists you have sent, because the translations were pretty similar, but there were a few details that put them one step forward. Thank you all so much for participating, and congratulations to all the winning teams. And without forgetting, we have certifications prepared for both winners and participators from Ege and Dokuzeli universities, and I will be sending them with emails. So if you don't get any, please contact me. And without further ado, Levent, would you like to wrap it up?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's again, congratulations to everyone who took part, the winners, lecturers. I mean, this is like I think the taking part is the most important experience. What I said earlier, if you remember at the launch, is that the competition, in essence, is a it's got a short span of time, but we tried to spend that month, last 4 weeks, with various activities. We did interviews to remind everyone the benefits of the challenge, how they benefited. And there's one interview that I did yesterday. We couldn't finish the video with Jack Thompson. He gives such a brilliant advice. I won't tell you what it is because I very much hope that you will watch the video. He gives such a good tip about how he found his job. You know, so wouldn't you be interested in finding out what that is? And so it's all about very much like what Heather said. Part of one of the things that she mentioned is networking, building your network, and very much I'd like everyone to use this time to build their networks, to make their connections, and because believe it or not, being a student is the best time of your life for preparing yourself to find a job. Because once the study finishes, you're not under a protection of a big institution, educational institution, then you're very much under a lot of pressure. Pressure from parents, you know, giving you hints, did you find that job? You know, are you going to any interviews? And you know, all these hints, and pressure from your friends who got a job and you couldn't. And you know, so the best time to prepare yourself for a job is during study. You know, so use that time, make connections, and hear what others are sharing with you. And those interviews, I was very pleased that they were all more than happy to share their experiences. And it's a big credit to Essex University lecturers is that the interviewers couldn't, you know, find enough words to show their gratitude. And the ones that I interviewed had jobs in Apple, working in translation companies, you know, set up their own companies. Was it first time in Asia? Is that the first time that group of friends set up a translation company?
Yes, I mean, I suggested it every year, but somehow we have lots of freelancers and lots of people who are working in, you know, but it's the first time that a group of international friends, you know, who attended the same course, set up their own company, you know, very brave, but they are very talented. So I'm absolutely sure that they will do well.
Yeah, I was very impressed and you know, pleasantly surprised that it was, and I just wanted to make sure that what I knew was correct, that it was the first time. So there are a wealth of opportunities, and yes, the world has changed, but it brought so many other opportunities. And now that with the Brexit that is finally out of the way, you know, there's a lot more, we are noticing a lot more interest in multilingual communications. And it is a very good opportunity for students. But you know, the main thing is to be curious and trying to learn as much as possible, because you will be facing with machine translations, you'll be facing with deep learning, artificial intelligence. neurological machine translations. You know, there's lots of developments, but it makes it all more fun. It makes it so much more interesting, and I'm really pleased that the industry we are in is ever changing. It's not a stationary industry. It is affected by all developments, so it makes our life so much fun. So thank you very much for everyone taking part. I'm grateful to all the lecturers from the 3 universities and the ones that were supportive, but maybe not here today, but grateful to everyone for making this available for the students and for everyone to part. Congratulations to you. Keep it up, continue with the same approach and attitude. So thank you very much, everyone.